Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. So today's topic is one that I feel is going to be pretty controversial. We're going to be talking about what I think are the most forgettable K-pop groups ever. Now first, a disclaimer. If I put a group in this video, does that mean I hate them? No. If I put a group in this video, does that mean I think they deserve to quote-unquote flop? No. If I put a group in this video, does that mean I think the members are the reason why they aren't as popular as they could be? No. This video is not me trying to send hate to any of the groups I'm going to be talking about. It's simply me naming groups that I think are forgettable and talking about why. And hopefully you can understand that I'm doing this commentary while also trying to be as respectful as possible, but if you can't understand that, then that's fine too. Thank you all so much for watching, and special shout out to our newest channel member Dog, and without further ado, let's start by talking about the first group. So first off for this video, we're going to be talking about Lightsum. And I know they haven't been around for that long, but personally, with the music that they do have, they should be way more popular than they are right now. Their B-sides, especially the B-sides off the VIVIZ album, are unexpectedly good and are honestly better than a majority of the B-sides from the quote-unquote leading 4th gen girl groups. But despite having good music, Lightsum end up being pretty forgettable for a few reasons. First off, they're from Cube, and the other girl group under that company is I-dle, who is one of the biggest 4th gen girl groups around right now, and since they're from the same company, the comparisons come pretty naturally, which, when regarding achievements, make Lightsum look pretty underwhelming when you put the two groups next to each other. I.dle have a huge fan base not only in Korea but worldwide, and Lightsum don't really have a big fan base anywhere, so there usually isn't that many people talking about them. Another issue is that Lightsum have more of a brighter concept, with all three of their title tracks ranging somewhere from elegant to cute, and right now, with a couple of exceptions, that kind of concept just isn't the most marketable. Right now, K-pop listeners definitely gravitate to more dark concepts, so there aren't too many people who will really tune in and dedicate to a group that's more on the lighter side when it comes to their music. And another reason is that none of the members have seemed to garner a large amount of popularity, so Lightsum kind of lacks a member whose face people will recognize when they see the group. I feel like this is a huge factor as to whether or not a group will become popular. I mean, you look at all of the leading 4th gen girl groups right now, and all of them have a quote-unquote face of the group. Aespa has Karina, IVE has Wonyoung, Billlie has Suki, I.dle has Soyeon, ITZY have Yeji, and the list just goes on. Every girl group needs a quote-unquote it girl, and the only member of Lightsum who I would say even has a little bit of individual popularity would be Chowon, but even then her popularity doesn't really match up to the members of the other girl groups that I just listed. Again, like I said before, their music is good, and if K-pop was really just based on the music, they'd be so much more popular than they are right now. But sadly, I just don't think they're marketed that great, so they end up sort of fading into the background. Next up, we have AB6, and if this video was made in like 2019 or 2020, they would absolutely not be here. For their first couple of years, not only were they one of the most talked about 4th gen boy groups, but they also had some of the best title tracks out of all of them. Even today, Breathe remains as one of the most iconic debuts of all time, and I haven't met one person that doesn't like the answer. Daehui used to be one of the most popular idols ever. It seemed like he was trending like every other day in the past, but it seems like all of the popularity that the group used to have kind of faded away over time. In 2021, AB6 had 3 comebacks, and in this year they had 2, but none of those songs got the group any music show wins, and it didn't seem like any of them got many people talking online either. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved both Close and 123, so I personally streamed those songs a lot, and AB6 have a pretty big fan base too, so their streaming numbers and album sales have never really been that bad. But I think that AB6 have kind of fallen out of the mind of the general K-pop fans and the general public as well. I feel like AB6's popularity has kind of plateaued, and none of the recent comebacks have really grown their popularity as a group, so the main word that comes into my mind when I think of AB6 right now is stagnant. And the thing is, I don't really know what happened to make things be this way. A while ago, a member did leave / get removed from the group, so maybe it was that, but I've also seen some people online say that they've never topped Breathe, so maybe people just lost interest as time went on. But whatever the reason is, though AB6 at one point definitely were one of the quote-unquote 4th gen leaders, they absolutely are not anymore. So in order to be fair, I thought it would be best to include at least one big 3 group in this video, and I ended up choosing Winner. If we were just talking about popularity in Korea alone, there would be a 0% chance of Winner being in this video, but looking at the international side of things, when it comes to big 3 groups, I think Winner is one of the least frequently mentioned. I mean, yes, every single K-pop stan and their mother knows really, but none of their other singles have garnered even like a third of the attention that that one got. I mean, they had a comeback this year after 2 years of not releasing music as a group, and and I saw no one talking about it. It charted well domestically, it's getting hundreds of thousands of streams on Melon every day, but overseas, it didn't seem like it made many waves. The thing is that the group and its members are promoted really well in Korea. Like domestically, not only is Winner popular, but each of the individual members are popular too. But YG is pretty bad at not only promoting them internationally, but also just letting people know internationally what the group is even doing. All of the members have pretty extensive solo careers, whether that's in music, appearing on shows, and one of the members, Sunghoon, is even a pretty famous dancer, but it doesn't seem like YG puts in much effort to create hype around any of the members' projects. Even just looking at Winner's official Twitter, it seems like all they do is retweet official OT4 activities, and little to no word of anything they do individually. It really surprises me how little it seems that YG does for Winner when YG obviously has the resources to promote them as much as possible, but maybe they just don't want to, or maybe even the members don't want to be promoted that much. I don't have an answer for it. But whatever the reason is, the little amount of effort that YG puts into Winner has caused them to become pretty forgotten, at least on the international side. So as a full group, they were never really able to build off the popularity that really gave them. I mean, it's fine because the members seem to all be doing really well, at least domestically, so I guess it's not that big of a deal, but they definitely didn't meet their max potential popularity, and I think that's mostly YG's fault. Before I even start talking about them, I want everybody watching right now to know that I literally ult Wiki. If you check my description box, they are in my ult section and they've been there for quite literally months, I think at least half a year at this point, so don't think that I don't like them and I don't wish the best for them. I don't want anybody saying that I'm some sort of Wiki hater. But anyways, even though I am one of Wiki's biggest supporters ever, their company has absolutely sabotaged them and held them back from reaching their full potential. Being one of the groups that had members from I.O.I, the first produce group, almost none of the companies who managed those I.O.I girls knew what to do with them after I.O.I disbanded, and Fantagio were absolutely one of those companies with Wiki. Instead of using Doyeon and Yoojung's individual popularity to bring interest to Wiki as a group, at least for the first couple of years, Fantagio really just pushed the rest of the members into the background and tried to ride off of the produce fame. The two I.O.I girls got almost all of the lines for their first couple of releases, and coupled with their first two singles being pretty heavily disliked, once they actually started having comebacks that people really enjoyed, they had already lost a majority of their momentum. People who were interested in Wiki and the members at first turned away after either not being interested in any of the other members because none of them got their time to shine, or because they just didn't like the group's music. So when they released what could have been smash hits with Crush and Picky, they didn't blow up to the degree that they could have because they were set up for failure after I Don't Like Your Girlfriend and La La La. Like, I can only imagine where Wiki would be right now if they debuted with Picky. If they released that song that almost everybody who listened to it loved, when they still had all that hype and anticipation around them, like, they'd probably be a leading third-gen girl group right now. The sad thing is, as time went on, Wiki only got better and better. Their most recent album was their best album yet, and their line distribution is so much more fair nowadays. But sadly, I feel like they've kind of lost the opportunity to gain a large amount of fans, and nowadays, most people who know Wiki kind of only know Doyeon, and there's not enough hype around them for people to really get that incentive to learn the rest of the members' names. Yoojung and Doyeon are still famous individually, but it feels like Wiki's opportunity to rise to stardom has come and gone, and I just wish Fantagio didn't drop the ball so hard in the beginning, because who knows where Wiki would be right now if they were managed properly from the start. So for the final group, I gave my channel members the opportunity to vote for who I would include in this video, and in our member exclusive Discord server, they voted for P1 Harmony. So if you want the opportunity to not only join the Discord server, but vote for who I talk about in my future videos, consider becoming a channel member by clicking the join button down below. Now, P1 Harmony are definitely not irrelevant. They have a huge fan base with almost 1 million monthly listeners on Spotify. That's like almost as much as the Boyz. But they're definitely a group that are pretty easy to gloss over as a K-pop fan. They're really active on social media, especially on YouTube and TikTok, but their first 2 years active as a group, they only had 1 comeback a year. And considering the first 2 years of activity are the most important for K-pop groups, this definitely didn't help them solidify their spot in the K-pop scene. Their social media and Western promotion really did help them become popular in the United States, but if you're one, not on K-pop Twitter or K-pop TikTok, or need a group to have multiple comebacks a year for for you to really get into them, then P1 Harmony probably isn't one of the groups that you're like super interested in. Of course, this is the first year where they have had multiple comebacks in 1 year. They literally just had one like yesterday, so maybe this will change soon. But for right now, even though P1 Harmony have one of the biggest fan bases, they don't really make too much noise outside of their own fandom. And that concludes this video. What did you all think of what I had to say? Make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hopefully no one's too upset over what I said here. I feel like if you actually watched all of the video, then you would understand that I was pretty nice in all of the sections. But it's K-pop stans we're dealing with, so who knows. Thank you all so much for watching, and a special thanks to all of my channel members, Woo Twice Tees, Sanarinth, Zhu Zhumin, Peach and ITZY, and especially our newest member, Dog. And if you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like, and if you want to see more content from me, consider subscribing. Thank you all again so much for watching, and without further ado, I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.